It was close to midnight when Jacob's phone buzzed on the kitchen counter. The house was finally quiet. His 8-year-old son, Ethan, was asleep upstairs, and the hum of the refrigerator was the only sound keeping Jacob company. He almost ignored the notification. Almost. But something about the timing made his chest tighten, like the moment before a storm. When he picked up the phone and saw who it was from, his breath caught. It was from his neighbor, Lily, and with the message came a photo. Just one simple question underneath it: do you think it's beautiful? Before we continue, take a second to support the channel. If stories about kindness, real-life emotions, and quiet moments that change everything mean something to you, please subscribe, like this video, and share your thoughts in the comments. Your support helps grow your channel name and keeps these stories coming. Jacob hadn't always been a single dad. 5 years earlier, his life looked completely different. His wife, Sarah, had been the kind of person who filled a room with laughter without trying. Then came the illness, then the hospital rooms, then the silence that followed. By the time Jacob learned how to make pancakes without burning them and braid Ethan's hair for school, his world had already been rebuilt around loss. They moved into the small suburban duplex for a fresh start. New town, new routines, fewer memories that hurt to walk past. That's where Lily lived next door. She was quiet, polite, and always seemed to be carrying something: groceries, art supplies, or sometimes just a tired look in her eyes. They waved. They nodded. They exchanged short conversations about trash pickup days and weather changes. Nothing more. Lily was kind in small ways. She once left a plate of cookies on Jacob's porch with a note that said, "For you and Ethan." No reason. Just because. Another time, when Ethan's bike chain snapped in the driveway, she came out with tools and fixed it without making a big deal out of it. Jacob appreciated her, but he kept his distance. Life had taught him that getting close meant risking loss. That night, standing alone in the kitchen, Jacob stared at the photo on his phone. It wasn't what people might assume. No glamour, no filters. It was a picture of Lily sitting by her bedroom window, holding a small painting. Her face wasn't fully visible, but her hands were shaking slightly. The painting showed a night sky filled with uneven stars, glowing softly over a quiet neighborhood. Simple, honest, vulnerable. Jacob read the message again. "Do you think it's beautiful?" He felt something twist inside him. Not attraction, not shock, something deeper, recognition. He typed a reply, deleted it, then typed again. Finally he wrote, "Yes, it's beautiful. It feels real." The response came almost immediately. "Thank you. I wasn't sure anyone would see it that way. That should have been the end of it. A polite exchange, a neighborly moment." But Jacob couldn't stop thinking about it. He sat at the table, remembering how Sarah used to doubt herself in the same way. How she would ask, "Is it good enough?" Even when it clearly was. The next morning, Jacob saw Lily outside, loading boxes into her car. She looked embarrassed when she noticed him, like she wasn't sure if she should apologize for the message. "You didn't do anything wrong," Jacob said gently, walking over. "I'm glad you shared it with me." Lily hesitated, then sighed. "I almost didn't. I've been struggling lately. Art used to be the only thing that made sense to me, and now even that feels fragile." Jacob nodded. "I get that more than you know." They stood there for a moment, the air between them lighter than before. From that day on, small conversations turned into longer ones. Coffee on the porch, walks while Ethan rode his bike. Shared stories that slowly peeled back layers of grief, fear, and hope. Lily revealed that she had moved there after a painful divorce. Her ex-husband had always dismissed her art as a hobby, something childish. Over time, his words had rooted themselves deep inside her. Even after leaving, she still heard his voice whenever she picked up a brush. Jacob shared his own struggles. The nights he stayed awake wondering if he was enough for Ethan. The guilt of smiling again after loss. The fear that happiness was something temporary, like a loan that would eventually be taken back. One evening, Weeks later, Lily knocked on Jacob's door. She held another painting, this one brighter. It showed a father and son walking under streetlights, their shadows stretching long and strong across the pavement. "I was inspired," she said quietly, "by you and Ethan." Jacob felt his throat tighten. He didn't trust his voice, so he simply nodded. Ethan, standing behind him, smiled wide. "That looks like us," he said. "It is," Lily replied, smiling back. "Kindness doesn't always arrive with grand gestures. Sometimes it shows up as a late-night message, a sincere answer, or the courage to see someone's vulnerability and treat it gently." Over time, Lily's confidence grew. She started sharing her art online. Slowly, people responded, encouraging comments, small commissions, validation that didn't feel hollow. Jacob supported her, not as a savior, but as someone who believed, and Lily did the same for him. When Jacob doubted his parenting, she reminded him that showing up mattered more than perfection. When grief resurfaced unexpectedly, she listened without trying to fix it. One night, months later, Lily sent another photo. This time it was a framed version of her night sky painting, hanging in a local cafe. "Do you think it's beautiful?" she asked again. Jacob smiled before replying. "I always did. Now the world does too." Kindness had changed them both, not by erasing pain but by making space for healing. It reminded them that being seen, truly seen, can be as powerful as being loved. As Jacob tucked Ethan into bed that night, his son looked up at him and said, "Dad, Lily is nice." "She is," Jacob replied. "I'm glad she's our neighbor." Jacob turned off the light, his heart full. He realized that kindness isn't loud. It doesn't demand attention. It whispers, "You matter," at moments when people need it most. And sometimes, all it takes to change a life is answering a simple question with honesty and care. So if someone ever asks you, "Do you think it's beautiful?" remember this story. Your kindness might be the light they've been waiting for.